straight from the Catalyst Theater. It's a total write-off with your host, Barbara North.
Welcome to A Total Write-Off, the show where 4 professional writers take your audience suggestions and create one masterpiece in under 30 minutes. First up, a gentleman who is a stand-up comic. He infiltrates right-wing organizations, then writes about it. Harmon Leon is here with his book, The Infiltrator. And we've paired him with a dear and wonderful woman who is a graphic novelist. She's here, Sarah Levitt. Welcome them now, everybody. Okay, so what are you calling your writing duo?
We are called Stephen King's lasagna recipe.
Okay, so it's like a little bit of successful author, a little bit of indigestion. I like it.
And a lot of lasagna.
Okay, get on up into the writing pit there. And we're going to introduce our next writing duo. We're going to get you started on your stories. You can just go on up there and take your stools. Lucky you. And we will get some audience suggestions because this is how we get our stories going. So we want an incident that would cause people to flee into the streets. Yell out.
Fire.
Okay.
Fire.
Okay, fire. Any more?
Earthquake, an earthquake.
Okay, I'm going to go with earthquake. All right, earthquake. And a lie you might tell a stranger.
Lottery trading. I don't have any change.
Oh, you heartless man, you. Writers, you have your first writing suggestions. We also have to give you your genres. Time to spin the wheel of genres. Okay, Harmon and Sarah, you're writing fantasy. And stay on the same page with us because the Total Write-Off continues right after this. Welcome back to A Total Write-Off. Our writers are furiously scribbling away, and I'm going to tell you the titles of their stories. Here we have Nichols for the Unicorn on planet TX-14. That's our sci-fi story. And here we have The Cauldron of Fear. Let's talk with the last of our writers, Harmon Leon. Come on down, tell us about The Infiltrator.
Hello, Barbara.
Hello, Harmon. And it looks like none of the other writers got the memo that they should dress in costume.
What do you mean, costume?
Oh, nothing, Captain Highliner. Oh, no, we love it. We love it. You came all this way. You can wear whatever you want. And writers, are they eccentric, do you think?
Writers are eccentric, but it kind of fits in with the stories I do, which is infiltrating, adopting clever personas and disguises, and infiltrating the various institutions of everyday life in order to stand up for the underdog.
Yeah, the people. The peeps.
And, of course, sticking it to the man. Yeah! That's right. There's man-sticking involved, what I do.
Now, I was reading through your book, and it was hilarious. One of the things that I loved was when you made horrible resumes, and you actually got jobs based on people read that you were a violent murderer, and they still gave you a job.
Yeah, what I did was I created a stack of fake resumes, and just to see how much you could push it and actually get hired. So that was the prison resume. And then there's like the 10-year gap in job history. Kind of like hinting at a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that's right. And they still gave you the job for that.
They gave me the job. Yeah,
it was wonderful. Yeah. Have you ever been scared when you were acting in one of these roles?
I was scared. The only time I've been outed is when I infiltrated the Las Vegas Celebrity Impersonators Convention, posing as a 4th-rate Austin Powers impersonator. And they outed me because those guys are good. They can spot an imposter impersonator, right, like that. Yeah, so I actually had like an angry Joan Rivers impersonator, so angry at me that she was yelling at me out of character. This isn't Halloween, you know.
Well, we appreciate what you're doing, and we appreciate that you're going to keep on writing, and we're also going to give you another writing suggestion to try and mess you up just a little bit. All right, yeah. Thank you so much,
Thank
Harmon.
you.
Yes, The Infiltrator is Harmon's book. Okay, what is a horrible injury? A horrible injury.
Broken arm.
Broken arm is a horrible, terrible injury.
Filling falling out.
A filling falling out. Okay, I'm going to go with broken arm. All right, Harmon and Sarah, you can add broken arm to your story, all right? As a matter of fact, we're going to give you a recap of your suggestions. Harmon and Sarah are writing in fantasy. They have to incorporate an earthquake and I don't have any change, as well as a magic toupee and a broken arm. We're back on a total write-off. In this segment, our writers will read, our mime dancers will perform, and our literary critic will review the stories. So let's get started right away. Harmon, get on up to the microphone. And welcome, please, our total write-off mime dancers. Harmon, hit it.
Nickels for the unicorn on planet TX14. Stephen King was preparing his lasagna recipe with fresh unicorn horn marrow one night on the planet TX14. A magic gnome appeared from the genre of fantasy and took Stephen King on a magical unicorn ride as the two rode like excited Martian schoolgirls in pink frilly dresses. Until they came to a toll booth at the edge of the Xenu universe. That will be 12 Galactian dollars, said the toll booth genie, rubbing his lamp. Steve said, I don't have change. Checking the pockets of his pink frilly dress, the genie, not too impressed, rubbed his lamp, causing an earthquake to erupt and changed Stephen King into a plate of his own lasagna, with a side order of broken arms cooked in yummy garlic sauce, to be consumed for eternity by a group of hobbits with offensive personal hygiene. Suddenly, through the moonlit window came an enchanted princess, a really tall one, even when she wasn't wearing heels, who had the proclivities for both kickboxing and Zhuan, the Korean art of swordplay. She kicked the hobbits' butts, causing the magical toupees to fly off. All of a sudden, long green tentacles sprang from the toupees, winding her in the grass and bursting into poisonous E. coli spinach, which, despite the recall, still grew in the far-off region of Galactia. The beautiful princess, on the verge of passing into the great nothingness, reached for the closest comfort she could find in the loneliness of her dying. Grabbing the plate of lasagna, she pressed her soft rose petal lips to the long, flat noodles, transferring it at once back into Stephen King, who showed his gratitude by giving her a DVD box set of Cujo, Christine, and The Dead Zone, complete with new director commentary. They all laughed and laughed and laughed. The end!
This was indeed a fantasy story. What is your review?
Well, he's Cappy Showboat, isn't he? But my fantasy is that I'll never have to hear that again. The infiltrator is banality itself.
Writers, come on down, join me here and now. We are going to let our audience decide which story is the masterpiece. By show of applause, is it Bev and Rona's story? They like you, but don't rest on your laurels just yet. Was it Harmon and Sarah's story? I've got to give it to the ladies. You wrote the masterpiece. You get to wear the writer's laurel wreaths. Thank you so much for being a part of a total write-up. That's our show.
So fantasy's a little bit alien, shall we say, but we knew that there had to be a unicorn in it.
Right.
We were really, we thought as one mind on the unicorn.
Right.